Hello, I'm Kimberly Morris, and I want to take you guys on an adventure in group leading that I had recently. I want to tell you all about it. Well, as someone who has the well-being of our youth in mind, I have the distinct privilege of being the Health Service Officer at the Greenville, South Carolina Civil Air Patrol branch. Civil Air Patrol, to tell you a little bit of background about the particular group that I was serving, before I got to them, they were very organized, they were very well established, militant, trained, respectful young people. But let me tell you a little bit about what happened from my brief contribution. It was June 22nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. We met at the Greenville Downtown Airport, GMU. The 44 cadets present had come in from their physical training. They were wiped out, but they were thirsty. So it was perfect timing for the group on team building and hydration, of all things. On our journey, you're going to need your water bottle. Feel free to join with me and a sip every now and then. Now, my usual leadership style is more of a hybrid of relational, visionary style, but because of my official capacity, I chose to employ a social role theory. Admittedly, I was a little nervous going in, but my theater speech training kicked in. It was 20 minutes of pure fun. The commander introduced me, and it was go time. When I entered the room, there was cadets and senior members everywhere, all of them wearing tan shirt and shorts, in and out of the building. But without warning, they all quietly came systematically in and filed in their little seats and stood to attention. The visitors were encouraged to put their hand over their heart as we pledged allegiance to the flag. I was wearing a polo shirt fitting for a senior member or an adult. Uniform. This gave me instant credibility with the group. I had the look of a leader. I was introduced as the health service officer, and when I spoke to this middle-aged, middle school, and older cadets, they were young people, they were instantly attentive. Their roles and their norms played in more than just in that one group. So I had a good group of kids to start with. They were very respectful, and if they had a question, they would hold up their fist. Very respectful. Even still, I practiced utilizing some of the leadership skills of practical and creative intelligence mixed with expertise. I provided a good mix of humor and subject matter knowledge. I used the question and answer technique to keep everybody engaged, and charisma for participation feel. The flow of the meeting itself went pretty well. I wanted to establish rapport with the group immediately by providing a welcome introduction for an officer that they had not even ever met. So I wanted to let them know that I did appreciate them and that they were welcome and we cared for them. I kept that part of the meeting warm and inviting with lots of encouragement. My intent was to have a water chugging contest. But my commander he denied the request based on the fact that the cadets would be running around throwing up if they had too much water. I think this had a twofold benefit. It was reinforced the idea of establishing a water drinking habit, shall we? and it built a team atmosphere. Like I was with them. By the end, I had almost 100% participation and attention. I presented the message clearly, united the team, supported the leadership when they told everyone it's time to drink. They're in encampment, and their leader tells them periodically it's time to drink. There's a good reason why. We don't want them on the field, passing out, having all kinds of physical complications. So whenever your leader asks you to drink, it's really a good idea. Through humor and supportive tones, I established unconditional positive regard. I reaffirmed the purpose of that meeting was to keep them healthy. I wanted them to take away from the experience that they are cared for, and that, of course, when their leaders remind them to take a drink in the field, there is a good reason to listen to them. I did show some room for improvement in that I could have studied my material just a little bit better. And I had a book, in addition to the regular briefing, I had a book called The 7 Pillars of Health by Don Culver that discussed the different types of water and the chemicals therein. I hit the highlights, but would have preferred to have covered more. A leadership skill that I could have done a little bit better was fostering cohesiveness. Now, the group before I got there was very cohesive, but whenever I was done, I knew that they all had the mindset they were going to camp, they were cared for, and they were going to be hydrated. All in all, I felt like it was a good meeting. My goal was to let the group know that I and the rest of their leadership team are for them. And even though we do not see each other often, we do care for them. The tone was light, encouraging, and educational. I'd like to encourage you and remind you yourself and those you love to hydrate.